Hey guys, Anthony Peluso here. If you're a real estate investor, all the talk right now is the new land tax, the new COVID levy that the government's brought in, Victorian government brought in the budget, in the May budget, just a few weeks ago. So what does that mean to real estate investors? How does that affect you? How does it affect you now? How does it affect you guys moving forward? Because we're all, I'm an investor, and anyone watching this that's an investor, you need to know about this, okay? So first of all, let's have a look at who this affects, okay? So homeowners, people with a principal place of residence, you're exempt. You're currently exempt, nothing changes moving forward. Now let's have a look at if you're a real estate investor, okay? Because it affects real estate investors, people with commercial real estate, and people with holiday homes, okay? So right now in Victoria, and land tax is different for every state, so let's just talk about Victoria. And then I'm going to give you some solutions and some things that you can do to overcome this or to combat this, to get on top of it, right? So right now, if your land holdings are $250,000, you currently pay no land tax for investment property, okay? If land is no more than 250, okay? The new COVID levy that's going to be brought in as of the 1st of January 2024 will be $975 if your land holdings are $250,000. So right now you're paying nothing. 1st of January 2024, you'll be paying $975, okay? Now, if you've got land holdings of $500,000, okay, your current land tax is $775. As of the 1st of Jan 2024, that'll go up by $1,175, okay? So your total land holdings will be $1,950, okay? If you've got land holdings of $750,000, right now you're paying $1,725 in land tax, as it stands right now. As of the 1st of Jan, that'll go up by an additional $1,425, making it a total, ouch, $3,150. So the bigger the land holding is that you have, the more you'll pay in land tax. Now, yes, you can mitigate some of this depending on what entity and how you hold your real estate, whether it's in an individual name, a trust, a corporation, a self-managed super fund. There are ways that you can mitigate this, but you are going to be hit with that expense to some degree, okay? Now, why did this all come about? Well, you don't need to be Einstein to figure this out, okay? Treasurer Tim Pallas said that 860,000 Victorians will be affected by this land tax, so 850,000 landowners, on an average, paying an average of $1,300 in additional taxes, or $4.7 billion in extra taxes over the next 4 years, okay? Now, that's a lot of money. Now, most of this debt, because I don't know if you're aware of this, but the Victorian government is in debt by over $171 billion. That's right, billion with a B, okay? Now, a majority of this was accumulated during COVID, okay? So the government's now coming out and saying, hey, guys, we need to bring the debt levels down in Victoria. So we're going to real estate investors, business owners, pretty much anyone that's doing well, right? We need you guys to step up and help us out. Now, I know how most of you guys are thinking, and I know what most of you are thinking. The reality is that it's coming in as of the 1st of January 2024. Okay, so the question is, what can you do about it? All right. Now, the rationale or the explanation that Tim Pallas gave is that, property values over the last decade have gone up by 84%. So if you're successful, if you're an investor and you've made a lot of money, you should have to pay. That's their rationale. Rents have gone up by 25% over the last 5 years in Victoria. So again, another reason or another justification of why you need to go into your pockets and fork out some money to help our government get out of the debt that it's in right now. So how do you handle this? What do you do? Now, I've received a ton of phone calls from investors, from clients, in a bit of a panic. Anthony, what do I do? Do I sell my investment properties? Do I get rid of my properties? Do I increase my rents? Is the government going to cap the rents? So we're limited to how high we can raise our rents. Are they going to continue to add the expenses to our bottom line? So, we're going to be out of pocket more and more and more. Guys, this is a government, okay? Some of us, maybe you, we voted for this government, okay? Now, we can do two things. We can sit there and blame the government, and we can talk about how bad our government is and how unfair it all is. And, some of you would be, that's fine. That would make sense to a lot of people. Or you can be cause over this, right? You can become bigger than this and say, okay, how do I handle this? Okay, how do I get around this? How do I handle this? Because the thing not to do is to panic and say, you know what, this sucks. I'm going to get rid of my properties. Real estate investing doesn't make sense. It doesn't work. Because sadly, that's what a lot of Australians do. Keep in mind, there's only 30 out of people that own homes out there, only 30% are real estate investors, okay? We are not in the majority. We are in the minority for investors, okay? And there's even less people that are doing well financially as a result of real estate investing. So most people have actually quit even before they get started. So how you handle this comes down to you and comes down to how you look at this. So what are some solutions that you can adopt? All right. Raise your rents. As real estate investors, we are in the business of real estate. We're in the business of making money. Why the hell else would you get into real estate? Okay? To do better financially, to invest for your financial future, to create cash flow, to improve your quality of life, to have an additional income. Okay? This is a business. You need to start treating real estate investing as a business if you haven't been doing so. Raise your rents. That's what a lot of investors are going to do because they need to find extra income, right, to handle the expenses that the government's laid on top of them as of the 1st of January 2024. Now, I know a lot of renters aren't going to like that, and I get that, okay? I get that, but this is the position that investors are in, and like anyone that's in business, you've got to do what's best for the business, okay? Last thing you want to do is to go sell your properties, to panic and just get rid of your real estate, especially if you have really good real estate, right? Listen, governments or banks or taxation rules, let's say, I've got to be careful what I say here, right? They've been playing this game for a very, very long time, okay? They're always out there to penalize and take from the people doing good in life, okay? You find that the people that are actually the most successful, and I'm going to cop a lot of flack on this, I get it, right? But the people that are doing great things and are the most successful are always penalized. The more you earn, the more you pay tax. Now, let me ask you, does that seem fair? Where else do you know where someone who is doing really well, who's successful, right, who does well, gets penalized for doing well? But that's the way the government's been. That's the way the tax system has been. The more you earn, the more they take. So they reward the people that don't earn as much, or let's say don't work, okay, through Social Security and Centrelink, and they penalize the people that do well, right? Now, so it's always been like that. So the point I'm trying to make is it's not about who's right and who's wrong, right? The point I'm trying to make is the way to get around this is the way you look at this. Is the glass half full or is it half empty? Okay, I choose to look at life as the glass being half full, right? Doesn't mean that I don't get pissed off. Doesn't mean that I don't crack the shits. It doesn't mean that that I'm always positive about all this, right? But it doesn't make any sense for me to be anything else but positive, okay? And look at the solutions as opposed to problems. Like life is going to give you problems, whether you're an investor or not, okay? If you don't choose to invest, you'll just attract problems and you'll just get problems elsewhere in life. How do you deal with it, all right? Increase your rents, okay? Lift your rents up. okay? Make sure that you're getting great tenants, you've got good rents coming through, you need a really good property manager. Have a look at how you structure your affairs, right? Yes, you can claim this come tax time, okay? It is a tax deduction, but unfortunately, you'll have to fork it out of your pocket to begin with, okay? You may want to look at investing interstate. Now, remember, land tax is different in every state of Australia, okay? You know, look at commercial real estate at the moment in South Australia, right? You pay no stamp duty, okay, as it currently stands, right, for commercial real estate. So have a look at different alternatives and different scenarios in different states of Australia, okay? Everything's going to have its pros and its cons, okay? Remember why you've got into real estate to begin with. It's to create wealth. You're going to get hit with obstacles and barriers along the way. It's inevitable, okay? It's like saying, hey, I don't want to drive a car because I don't want to pay for the petrol. Insane, right? You know, so everything that you want to do in life, it's going to have its pros and it's going to have its negatives, okay? And that's the game you play in life, okay? So don't throw the baby out with the bathwater and crack it just because, you know, land tax levies have changed and you're going to carry a greater expense moving forward. Think with it and say, okay, how do I beat this? So increasing your rents is one thing, okay? You will be limited to how much you can increase your rents by, okay? So keep that in mind. And that's the reaction, and that's the one thing that a lot of investors will do, okay? Because you do need to stay within market rent, okay? Yes, there's talk about lovely government, who I love so much, you know, putting a cap on rents, okay? Again, just talk of that, okay? I think there'll be an absolute backlash, and we'll vote these guys out in a real hurry if that happens, right? And you'll see a lot of Victorians just taking their, you know, taking their money and investing outside of Victoria. Okay, that's going to be inevitable if they put a cap on rents. Okay, but look at investing in interstate as well. Okay, now you may get some relief on land tax in some other states of Australia. But again, you may not get that capital growth or cash flow that you need from your portfolio in other states of Australia. So you need to look at every aspect of investing and not just focus on land tax, okay? Make sure you're claiming this come tax time, okay? Have a look at the entity that you're purchasing your real estate in, okay? You may want to spread your holdings across multiple entities, like individual names. Yes, that's got its risks as well. You may want to look at things like, you know, trust structures, corporations, proprietary limiteds, self-managed super funds, tenants in common. There are multiple entities, right, that you can purchase real estate in, and you can spread your holdings across multiple entities, okay? And if you start to go interstate with this, again, you can start looking at, you know, you can actually reduce your land tax, okay? But land tax, remember, is just one component of real estate investing, okay? It's a really important thing to keep in mind. It's just one component of real estate investing. As are interest rates, okay? As are rental expenses, as are tax returns, as are rents, as are capital growth, okay? You need to look at everything holistically and not just make a knee-jerk reaction to one item when it comes to real estate investing, because the game of real estate investing is a long-term play, okay? So please don't go out there and make any rash decisions based on the back of this new COVID tax levy that's coming in on the 1st of January. You've got 6-7 months or so to make your next move or to restructure your affairs, but don't go and panic. All right, there are solutions out there. Talk to your accountants. Make sure you've got really, really good accountants, okay? Come and have a chat to us. We do this day in, day out, every day. You know, over 40,000 real estate investors on our database, all, you know, having one thing in common, and that's to create a better quality of life for themselves, for their family, for their loved ones. And that's what we love about our clients. And that's what I love about real estate investing, okay? It's about improving one's quality of life. It's about putting yourself in a position where you can help other people. You know, I don't think there's a greater duty or a greater push that one should focus on in life than helping others. All right. So just remember why you're investing in real estate to begin with. All right. If you guys have got any questions regarding land tax, the new levy, if you want it explained, in more detail or in a more detailed way, we're going to put something up on our website there. But give us a call, talk to one of my advisors. Many advisors, they'll be able to take you through it, analyze your situation, work out exactly what your land tax is going to be for your tax holdings. Obviously, the more real estate you hold, the more your land tax is. And again, don't start taking your assets from one entity that you hold them in and move them into another just to avoid capital gains tax or minimize capital gains tax, because you're going to trigger stamp duty and capital gains tax. Okay, and this is what I mean. Don't go making a knee-jerk reaction. Understand what this means to you as a real estate investor. Okay, that's the first thing. Understand what it means, and then make an informed decision, right, and look at it holistically and say, okay, it's like a game of chess. If I make a move here, how is it going to affect the rest of my men or the rest of my portfolio, right? Or what it is that I'm trying to achieve. Hope that makes sense, guys. Anyway, focus on the big picture. Okay, just continue to focus on the big picture, and we get used to this new land tax, and the government or the ATO or the banks will come up with something else moving forward. Okay, it's always going to happen. Okay, you're always going to be faced with obstacles and barriers that you have to overcome no matter what journey you're on. If you look at every great sportsman, every great entertainer, whether it's a musician, artist, there's always that, they always have to fight and do extraordinary things to overcome what life puts in front of you. Okay, I mean, you guys see this every day. If you're a CEO, if you're a business owner, you know this, right? If you're an employee, you see this as well, right? If you're in school, you see this as well, right? It's just part of life, guys. Okay, look, and the trick to this, the key to this, is how you choose to look at it. Okay, and my advice to you is don't focus on the problem. Focus on the solution. Start thinking in solutions straight away, right? Reminds me of that great book that I read, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? I'm sure you've all heard of it. If you haven't, please go do yourself a favor and grab that book. Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Great book, okay? Most people think about that book and they think that it's all about money, because you look at the title, right? Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It actually has very little to do with money and more to do with mindset. Right? So you can look at life and say, hey, I can't do this, right? I'm going to quit, because the easiest thing in the world to do is to quit, right? So you can look at life and say, no, not going to do this, not going to work on my relationship, not going to work on my health, not going to work on my investing, not going to work on my portfolio, not going to work in my company, not going to work on being a father, a mother, a son, a brother, a sister, a daughter, whatever, and just quit. Because it's the easiest thing to do is to quit. Or you can turn around and say, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? And when you ask yourself the word, how I'm going to do this, presto. Presto, right? I had to get that presto right. Solutions all of a sudden come to mind. Right? And if you're struggling in this area, give us a phone call. Reach out to us. We'll look at some solutions for you. Talk to my guy, Johnny Leov, Kevin Blakeman. We've got this beautiful lady, Donata, who's just, started at Wealth for Life. Can't wait for her. She's actually coming on board tomorrow. And then we've got the amazing Kay Seabrook, right? There's so many of our guys. Elizabeth Valinsky. You've got to talk to these guys. They're incredible, right? They're investors. They're doing great things in life. You guys aren't alone. There are people out there that can help you, right? Start thinking in solutions, right? How do we become bigger? How do we focus and become bigger than the actual problem? A problem can be big, can be seen really, really big when you don't have a solution, right? But when you have a solution, the bigger the solution or the more solutions you have, you actually shrink the problem. And you do it properly, and you shrink the problem so small that it actually disappears. All right, guys. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. Hope you got something out of it. Would love your feedback. Keep following us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. Still trying to get my head around TikTok. Keep following us where you can. Keep sharing. We really appreciate your feedback. We appreciate the great comments. We appreciate the negative comments. We appreciate self-expression and freedom of speech and your own viewpoint. And you know what? At the end of the day, we just want to see you, your family, and the people that you care about do well. Okay? That's all we stand for at Wealth for Life. Okay? We want to see you guys do well. Okay? We love hearing your success stories. We love hearing your wins. And you know what? We also love it when you kick our asses and tell us to do a better job. Because when you say that to us and when you do that, you know, we listen, we pay attention. You know, we get our asses kicked all the time. I get my ass kicked all the time by my staff, my clients, heck, my kids, my wife. That's life, right? You're always looking to get better. You're always looking to improve. So we appreciate any feedback that you guys give us, right? It doesn't always have to be positive. You know, we appreciate your viewpoint. And we're always here to get better. Like you, like me, as investors, we're always looking for solutions, all right? Solutions to life. So hope you enjoyed it, guys. 2023 is still young, okay? Take advantage of it, okay? There's, you know, we're heading into winter here in Australia. Take advantage of 2023. There are really good things happening in the real estate market, okay? I know the media won't support that, because that's their job, right? To be negative and put people in fear and worry and concern, anxiety, stress. Guys, let me tell you, it's never as bad as the media tell you, and it's never as good as the media tell you, okay? Okay, learn to look more than you listen, okay? There are great things happening in the real estate market moving forward in 2023, 2024, 25, and the first half of 2026 are going to be great if you're a real estate investor. They're actually going to be bad if you choose not to invest in real estate, because you're going to see just how great the market's going to be over the next few years, okay? I've spoken about this on other videos that I've done as to why our market, we're heading into a great market, probably one of the strongest booms in Australia. But hit us up, love your feedback, love to talk to you guys. Hope you're doing well, hope you're enjoying life. Hope you're having a great 2023. Anything I can do or my company can do to help you guys, please reach out. We're here for you. All right, guys, enjoy. Take care.